Greenspan. I'm an animal communicator. I speak with the animals both here and those have crossed over. I speak to them telepathically. I hear what they have to say. We have a conversation in their sounds and their tones. I distinguish it from my own thinking voice. So I say I hear them. I sometimes see pictures they want to show me. Sometimes it's emotions physically. It can be emotions mentally. So it's a whole gamut. Sometimes they bring people with them, which is very rare, but it has happened. So my favorite ones to read for are rescues and those that have crossed over. And for those that have crossed over, it's really for my client. They pets themselves are just fine. They're always just fine. But there's burning questions sometimes from the client. Did I do the right thing? Was it their time? Did I miss something? Those kind of things. So it does bring ease to the client themselves. So I thank you for joining me. I just want to share, I do have 5 books on Amazon on the topic, and I do have an online course based on my website, based on my book, Learn to Speak with the Animals. And this particular book is what I use for my class that I was doing in Awakenings, which right now I'm doing online, and it's self-guided. And we will be doing some practice Zoom calls as well for those that sign up for the course, reading for each other. So it'll be fun. So for today, I want to share some stories and answer some questions. So when I open up for questions, what I would like from you is the name of the pet, what they are, how old they are, or if they've crossed over, and what your question is. I don't want a lot of background story, just what's the question with that. So we'll put it in the chat when that time comes. But I do want to share with you some stories. On my latest book, Voice for the Animals, you'll see, I know it's a little difficult. There are 2 black standard poodles, Magic and Darwin. Magic was a client's dog, and Magic didn't really want, or Fudge, her other dog, didn't want another dog and wanted to be the only child. So when she brought Magic in thinking that they would get along great and here's a companion, she realized that wasn't the case. Fudge just did not want another animal. He wanted to be the only. So I had a client, Darwin, who in the reading the very next week said he wanted a girlfriend that looked like him. He was a 2-year-old black standard poodle. So I said to him, well, I do know of someone, but I have to talk to mom first. He's like, okay. So after the reading, I told my client that, yes, I do know someone, 2-year-old female, black standard poodle named Magic. So I gave their numbers to each other so that they could arrange something. Within days, they were meeting at a park, and both clients were texting me pictures. They were so happy. The dogs just were like together forever. And on the picture on the book, I was so glad I had put it on this latest book because Darwin passed away this past year. And so it was a good memory. But every time I would go back for little tune-ups, whatever they needed, then Darwin every time greeted me with thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because he had his girlfriend. He was so happy. So I'm a matchmaker in the dog world too. Not in the human world so much, but in the dog world. So another Another example, I do phone readings, especially right now. I do phone readings and I do Zoom calls like this. I had one client that one daughter was in Texas and then they had the dog. And anyway, so we were all able to be on the reading at the same time. But another client, she had Nala, a female, I believe it was German Shepherd. She rescued her and she had her only 6 weeks and Nala would not come up to her. She hid from her. She stood very far away. She was very standoffish, completely standoffish. So when we were on the phone and I explained to Nala that this is her forever home, I heard crying on the other end of the phone. I said, "What happened?" She said, "She just came to me." So I was so happy. It does work. And I know from experience that this is just, I love this work. So I've been doing this since 2002. My first experience, I had gone to grooming school. I was laid off a corporate job, went to grooming school, decided that I want to do something that I love, working with animals. I didn't exactly know what it was, but I started with grooming. And I was at my client, which was at the back of a vet's office. And they brought in, it was a Lhasa boy and his sister, a little yippy poodle. And I started with the yippy poodle. When I was done with her, I said, "Okay, it's your brother's turn." And nobody's in the back, so I talk out loud, I don't care. So I put her in the kennel, brought the boy out, put the boy on the table, and I said out loud to him, "She gets all the attention, doesn't she?" And in my head, I heard, "Yep, she's mom's and I'm dad's." And I was like, whoa. So I brought them up, called the parents, brought them up. I needed something in the back for some reason, came back up, and Yippee was in mom's arm, Lhasa was in dad's lap, and dad said to me, "We call him Mr. Personality." And it sounded just like the dog. So many times the animals pick up the sound and accents and ways of speaking, phrases that you use. They will come through with these kind of things that are just hysterical. I had one that it was a Samoyed, and he was a show dog, and boy did he know he was a show dog. When I greeted him, I always say, "Hi, how are you? Hi, whatever the name is, and how are you?" And when he replied to me, he said, "Hey, chickadee, how are you?" So I was like, okay, we're full of ourselves. I got it. Another was a rescue that I was reading for a client in Hawaii. And it was a little Chihuahua, but his voice came across as a big Samoan guy. So I have to assume the prior owner before my friend was a big Samoan guy. So it's so fun to hear their stories and where they came from and reasons for why they react to certain people, certain uniforms, certain clothing the way that they do. And it's from their prior experience, especially rescues. I find rescues really, really do have issues if it's not been a positive situation prior. Sometimes it's not a terrible thing if in the prior life, so it isn't like a carry-on. It's like, okay, you're going to feed me now, great, I'll go here. So it's not necessarily a bad thing at all with the rescues. So why don't we start with a question. Tanya, you want to read me the question information? If anybody's typed in, if you would put the name of the pet, what they are, how old they are, or if they've crossed over, and what do you want to know? What is your question? Not a long dissertation, just what is the question?
Okay, so far everybody's being shy, but maybe we'll give them just a moment to think about their question. I'm
Okay.
here in the chat box. If you don't know where that is, there's a little box at the bottom of your screen that looks like a speech balloon, and you can click on that, and there will be a little text coming up. And if you would like to ask a question, put in your pet's name there, and I will share that with Francis.
Lenore, I see your hand is up. Do you want to unmute and ask a question? Was that intentional?
Okay, I have
I
one.
was actually going to type it in, but I can ask it.
Okay.
So I saw you 9 years ago with my previous dog, Hoku, who passed away, or I was struggling with, putting him to sleep. And my dog that I got after Hoku is named Noelani, and she's a girl and Hoku was a boy, but she acts so much like him as time goes on. And I was just wondering, is he now coming back to me through her?
That's a very common thing that happens. Many times the pets that cross over will tell the new pet, she likes it when you do this, or do this, and she'll think it's me. They really do talk to each other and encourage each other and help each other along. So no, it's not him coming back. It's him playing and talking with the new dog. Good question.
Okay, we have one here from Debbie Del Rio.
Okay.
Her dog Anochi's birthday is today. Happy birthday, Anochi. 5 years old.
Yay.
And he is quite a gentleman. I've met him. I would like to know if he will be fine with me getting a new kitten in the fall.
Let me ask. He says, is she replacing me? Let me explain, no. I explained that it's a playmate, and he said, oh, okay. As long as I'm not being replaced. Yes.
Okay, next question is from Wilma. Sheldon is 8 years old, a rescue, and I'd like to know the status of his condition with the current medications and food.
Okay, that's going to be a little more extensive what I'm going to suggest to you. Are you familiar with a pendulum? Okay, I meant to grab one before I came out here. But you can use a pendulum for yes and no answers. And a pendulum is basically a necklace, and it's just dangling. And you ask your guide to show you yes, and then it'll go back and forth around whatever. And then you ask, show me no, and it'll go a different direction. So each of the foods, each of the medications and medications dosages go through each segment one by one. And I've done this with many clients, and I say, just send me the list because it's too long right now. This is too detailed. They were taking so much. And of all the things, there was only like one thing that was not, I always say, is this helping or is it hurting? I do two separate questions. And if it's helping, okay, is dosage correct? So go through the dosage. So this is what I go through with my clients. So that's what I'm going to leave you with, and I hope that helps others as well. Okay.
Okay, we have a question from Kay about her 10-year-old dog, Carl. What are his feelings toward my dad?
Is your dad living with you? No. Okay. And can you tell me his age?
He's 10.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Okay, tell me, I'm in my right brain, so I don't retain a lot, so sorry. Name, age, and what is he?
I don't think we have Carl's breed here.
Oh, he's a Labradoodle Terrier mix.
Okay, all right, hold on. So how does he like your dad? Was that the question?
Just what his feelings are toward my dad.
Okay. Is your dad able to be steady on his feet? Okay. You want to unmute?
What was the question?
Is your dad steady on his feet?
He's not steady on his feet, no.
Okay, because he was telling me he's afraid he's going to fall on him. And that he's afraid he doesn't know what's going to happen. What if he falls? What can I do? So that's his main concern, is your dad falling. Okay.
Next, we have a question from Barbara, and regarding Maui, a sun conure, is a type of bird, 16 years old, used to have 2 dog companions who have now passed. Would he be able to accept a new dog from Maui?
As long as they don't bark at me. I don't know how you're going to accomplish that with a dog. He really likes the quiet. He's not much into loud noises, except his own.
Okay, our next question is from Jude. And Jude says, Kona is deceased. She is a black lab, and I would like to know her backstory before she met my family.
I felt she was like a guard dog in a yard, like an outside yard dog, not really a family pet. So having a family was very nice, very, very nice. So thank you for your question.
Okay. We have another question from Wilma, who is asking about Sheldon again, who is a cat and has a brother from the same litter, Stuart. Are they both happy?
They are. They feel like they get all the attention. So they don't feel one is over, getting more attention than the other. So they're fine. They're fine.
Okay, and Carol is asking for some additional clarification for Blue, her Abyssinian cat, who is 8 years old. Could we make him aware he must take his medications for asthma, inhaler puffs, and liquid prednisone, alternated every other day? You worked with Reiki. I remember Reiki, writing stories, in 2010, 2011. when I lived in Southern California. I've always felt my cats were all connected in some way, reincarnated or came back to me. Do you feel this is true? I do pendulum and body dowsing. Thanks.
It's interesting because we talked that Lenora had a previous question, and I don't believe they come back to us through another pet this quickly in lifetime. I believe that the pets connect with the pets we currently have and tell them, you know, she likes when you do this, she likes when you do that, so be sure, and you know, those kind of things. So it may seem that they're the same, but actually it's truly the other one showing the new one the ropes, the things that she likes. And as far as medications, let me talk to Blue.
Okay, Luann is asking.
Wait, hold on one sec. I'm just going to tune into Blue about his medications. Basically, Blue's saying, I really don't like the taste. So, and you do the pendulum and all, so that's great. So you know what's needed, what's not needed. Okay, next.
Luann is asking for the pendulum. Can the answer also be a maybe?
I know of people who use maybe questions. I do absolutes. I do absolute questions. So yes and no's. I don't like doing maybes because that's not really an answer to me. I want to know yes or no. If the pendulum doesn't move, then I know it's a maybe. Or it's not good or bad. It just is. Okay.
Okay, from Donna. For my 6-month-old boxer Zoe continues to not be housebroken for our house, but is for our travel trailer. Why won't she only go in the yard?
What was the name again?
Zoe, 6-month boxer.
Got it. There's some critters in the back that are scaring him. So I don't know if it would be helpful to have like a dog run that might be more enclosed. Sometimes coyotes, I had one client recently, the cat was actually taken and killed by a coyote. And even before this, the dogs would know the coyotes were there. And so they occasionally would not go outside to the bathroom. They would go on the floor. So instead, I suggested either the run be created, or if that wasn't possible, there's the indoor, it's like fake grass pans, and it looks like grass, but it's a pan you can use indoor in the garage or on a patio, a balcony. And so it gives the illusion of grass. But there's critters outside that they know when they're coming around. They're telepathic and they sense what is happening. So I would take it that it's not being defiant as much as it is for safety.
Okay, there's another question from Barbara about Maui, the sun-conjured bird. Is he finally getting more comfortable with Ken? He never bonded with Ken when he was young. What can I do to foster that connection?
He's a mama's boy. He's always going to be a mama's boy.
And from Luann, my friend's dog named Tiger, a 13-year-old Pomeranian poodle mix, whom I've only seen a picture of. that I've not met in person yet. I feel her spirit comes to me often, which feels like she needs love and comfort. I'd like to know why she's coming to me and if she has specific needs. Thank you.
She's coming to you because she found an open channel, someone that's close to her mom, and hoping that you'll give her the message. So she knows exactly what, or he knows exactly what he's doing. I'm assuming Tiger's a boy. Let me tune in. Oh, so Tiger's a girl by the prefix. I was thinking Tiger was a boy. I get mixed up. Doesn't matter. Spirit. I'm feeling that he wants or she wants to let mom know that he's ready to go and not to extend any extra stuff. Doesn't want, any extra medication, IVs, doctor visits. Just let him go or let her go naturally. She's not in pain, so it's just a matter of time because she is older. Just lots of love. Just needs lots of love. Okay.
Okay. Debbie is saying thank you for your reading about Anochi's bed when I saw you last year. He now has a new bed and loves it.
Excellent.
And Jude is laughing. He says, spirit, LOL. That's, and let's see, we have, oh, Debbie has another question. Can you tell me anything about the kitten I will get in the fall?
I don't do future readings. It's whoever is here I can talk with. Let me know when they come and then we can talk again.
Okay, from Holly. My 7-year-old cat Simba recently stopped coming to bed and sleeping with me as he has for the past years. He will come in around 4 or 5 in the morning. Can you tell me why?
Do you snore? Because it seems that they're not getting a good night's sleep for the noises. That's why they're not sleeping with.
She does know that she doesn't snore.
You sure?
She says
That's
nothing has changed.
Yeah, I'm feeling that there's noises or something that's going on, or if you're restless, she's just not able to get a good night's sleep, so just she's not sleeping with you.
Okay, we have another question from Donna about Zoe, the boxer puppy.
Mm-hmm.
My adult daughter is moving out of state, but will eventually return. Can you tell Zoe my daughter is not abandoning her?
So the daughter, I'm confused. Is the daughter with you and the dog now? Can you unmute who you are that asked that question?
Yes, my daughter's been with us for the last few months since we've had Zoe, but it's been temporary because of the quarantine.
Okay.
So she's going back to work, but she'll be out of state, but she'll be coming back from time to time. And she's Zoe's favorite.
Okay, so let me tune back into Zoe. What's your daughter's name?
Jessica.
Okay. So I assured her, or I get my his and her, sorry, Zoe. I assured Zoe she is coming back and that it may be a little while, but she's not leaving forever. And something I'd suggest doing is FaceTiming or Zooming with her and the dog and you, so that she knows she's okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
For those of you that joined after I started, you can put your pet's name, how old they are, what they are, and if they're male or female, and then a quick question. Okay.
Okay, we have a question from Lenora. Nolani is a rescue terrier mix. How, about 10 years old. Is she feeling okay or want me to know any problems?
What was the name?
The name is Nolani, Noelani.
Okay. What kind of dog?
A terrier mix who is a rescue.
Okay, I'm
10 years
feeling the hips, joints may need some glucosamine to add to the food or their meal mix, whatever it is. I'm feeling a bit arthritic starting in the joints, so that can be helpful additive for the older dog. Okay.
And okay, so next we have Kay, who is asking another question about Carl, the 10-year-old dog. Does he have a preference on what I can do to comfort him when the fireworks are so loud?
Yeah, it's really hard on the dogs. Something that you can give the pets with the anxiety is rescue remedy. It helps in reducing that kind of anxiety. You can put cotton balls in their ears that'll muffle it some. Yeah, it's just a tough thing with the fireworks. Okay.
Okay, Debbie has another question regarding her son's dog, Scotty,
Mm.
who has anxiety. Scotty is 10 and a terrier mix. What can be done to help him with his anxiety?
Rescue remedy definitely is something you can add. You can get it at Sprouts or wherever. I'm feeling, is Scotty a rescue? Because I'm feeling the anxiety of not knowing this is their forever home.
She says yes, he is a rescue.
So I know you can do this yourself. I would talk to him and remind him that this is his forever home, and I believe that will help some, because I'm feeling fear of abandonment being the cause very much of the anxiety. Okay.
Okay. Beverly has dogs who are Schnoodle siblings who are now 11. And they have, she also has Lacey, our little queen, and Tucker, our guy. But I don't see a question, Beverly. Did you have something specific regarding?
I got to do one at a time. I can't do them all. It's too much in my head. So question for one of them.
Okay, I don't see a specific question for one of them. So while she's coming up with that, let's go to Ling,
Okay.
who has a 4.5-month-old female puppy named Lulu, who is a terrier mix. We're not sure of her mom's breed. We have Joy. Somebody might need to mute.
Yeah, I think she just did.
We have a regular daily schedule of eating, walks, etc. Lulu never seems excited about going on walks, and we were wondering why.
What kind of collar or harness do you use, Ling? Is it, well, just, she's gonna show me. Oh, okay, so it's like a harness.
Yeah.
Okay, because something about it's uncomfortable to her.
Oh.
May try a different, it's cutting on the arms.
Oh.
So
I see.
you may need to find another, oh cutie. Yeah, you may need to find another one
Oh,
for fit.
I see.
That's really what it feels like to me.
Oh, too thin maybe.
Yeah, yeah. If it's
Yeah.
something, yeah. It's
Okay.
digging in.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We have Amarina, who has Bono, a 14-year-old red English Cocker Spaniel. And she'd like to ask, how are you feeling? What's your energy level? Do you have a paw or toe issue?
I'm feeling low on energy. I'm feeling joints that if you're not giving glucosamine, that can be helpful. Slowing down, yes, absolutely slowing down. And I don't feel a paw or toe issue, just not really wanting to walk, just slowing down, getting older, not a lot of energy.
Okay, Beverly has come back with Tucker, who seems a bit sad and needy at times. And Lacey will no longer play with him as often. What can I do to help?
Remind me what Tucker is?
What is Tucker's breed?
Yeah. How old? Beverly, you want to unmute and just tell me?
Tucker's a schnoodle,
Oh, that's okay. And how old?
11.
Okay. Have you been gone lately? I know it's weird to ask that in this kind of situation, but have you been out of the home more often than you had been? Like he was used to you being home so much and now you're not home as much?
It actually isn't me. My husband had back surgery back in November, and he was home for 3 months solid after the back surgery. And then COVID hit immediately thereafter. So he was working from home for almost an additional 2 months. And I have 2 identical dog beds in the den where my husband works. So you think that's it, huh?
Yeah, there's the change in the home situation, which I think we're all pretty much going through some sort of change, but yeah, yeah, there's a change in that. The fact of being away and coming back and um, telling, let me just tell him all's okay, okay, that everybody's going to be fine. So that was, he wanted you to know he hurts, he needs something, he wants you to, your husband, not him, but that it was like, get your attention, because he needs you, he needs you. So I explained, he's just fine, he's gonna be just fine. Okay. Next.
Okay, from Donna, my deceased boxer Sasha, is she okay now and was she happy with us?
She comes in, yippee, 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 yay, she asked about me. Yes, of course she was happy. And she's doing great. Energy and spirit, they're just happy as can be. They're free of any, the body gets heavy after a while. So when they're free of the body, they're just like, yay, here I am. But you're so happy that you would ask. And of course she was happy with you.
Okay. From Holly, Simba wants to eat cat grass before eating his cat food. Does he have a stomach issue? He is 7, but his blood work shows is all good.
I'm assuming Simba's a cat. Is that right?
Let's see.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. She's doing self-care. She's just making sure her digestion is good. So she knows the cat grass is good for her digestion, and just kind of, it's like her vitamins. She's fine. Let her continue.
Thank you.
Okay, Jude has a question about his deceased black lab Kona, and he wants to know what he's doing now.
I'm seeing him in a park-like setting where he's with other younger pets that crossed over, and he's just guiding them and loving them as they're coming through. They're newly crossed, and he's like the greeter. So he's a very kind soul.
Okay, from Ling. Lulu, my terrier puppy mix, seems to try to control me at times with her stronger and stubborn nature, but seems to be very submissive to strangers. Why would that be?
Lulu has learned how to train you. And she's pushing because she knows she can get away with it. Strangers, she doesn't know how their temperament is, if they would hurt her or do something, but she certainly learned that she can get away with stuff from you. So you actually need to be the one to stand up to her and stick to whatever you say and follow through and not let her get away with it. Not a treat to get her to do things, because then she'll always do it. So she gets a treat.
Okay. Marilyn says, Sweetie Bean the cat, How did she die?
She ate some poison. Like someone had put something in the yard to kill whatever bugs or whatever, and it looked like cat food. So she ate that.
Okay. Jude was very moved about what you said about Kona, and he said he was holding back tears. He was,
So
he was,
sweet.
yeah, very sweet, kind heart. And now he's no longer holding back tears, so I think everything's good. Thank you for sharing, Jude. Debbie Del Rio again, can you tell me what my previous dogs, Watson and Pixel, both Bichons, are now doing?
It's so funny. The first thing they're showing me is they're rolling in mud because they, as as the frou-frou kind of dogs, they were never allowed to really do that. So they're just like pigs in mud, just having fun. You see, the pets can do whatever they want. They're in spirit world, they can do whatever they choose.
Okay, and Jude says he's there, puddle on floor now, but I think he's back. He's
yes,
back with
he is.
us.
Oh dear. Any other questions?
Holly says her deceased cat, Bam Bam, asking if a Bam Bam is happy with the 2 replacement rescues we got.
Bam Bam says, nobody can replace me. What are you talking about? Oh, he'll never be replaced.
Okay. Amarena is asking again about Bono, the 14-year-old cocker. Is he in pain? Are his lungs and breathing okay? And is he still enjoying life?
He says he's young for his age. So don't let the age fool you. He has lots of energy still.
Okay, and Wilma is asking if Sheldon, the 8-year-old male cat, in pain.
I don't feel any pain.
Okay, and I don't see any more questions right now.
Okay. Any questions about what I do, how I do, anything like that that I can answer for you?
Oh, we have one more from Donna, who is
Okay.
asking about her sister's 14-year-old Shiba Inu. How is he feeling?
What's the name?
A bear.
Okay. I'm feeling stiff. So again, joints, glucosamine, it seems to be my answer for these things, but it really does help the system when the older dogs. So they tend to slow down a bit because they hurt, kind of like crickety feeling. So that's a crickety feeling I'm getting.
Okay, so we have from Wilma, Penny wants to know, how do you connect with the animals?
Well, I do it telepathically as a clear channel. I've practiced clearing my chakras and making sure my own thoughts and feelings aren't coming through, that it's truly clear from spirit, my guides, the animal spirits, telling me what's coming through. It takes practice to get yourself, your ego, your thinking mind out of the way so that you're not projecting an answer when it's actually you saying it. And whatever comes through, I make a point not to edit what it is. I say what I get or I feel, because that's the first instinct is what it is. So it's really about practice and trusting what you're getting when I'm tuning in. And again, I do have my course online, Learn to Speak with the Animals. So if you wanted to do this, you could certainly do it. I believe everybody has the ability. It just takes practice and clearing yourself of your preconceived thinking, editing. It's really about trusting what you get when it comes through. I hope that answers as much as I can.
And Marilyn says, can you tell me who killed the bean?
I can't. I don't. Sorry.
Debbie wants to know your thoughts on CBD for animals.
It's like any other thing. I have had literally only one client using the pendulum that I said, absolutely, this is working great. Other clients go down the list of what they're taking and get to that, and it doesn't help them, doesn't hurt them, but it doesn't, there's no point if it's not helping. If it's not hurting, great, but if it's not helping. So truly, if an animal has high anxiety, that's a good one to try, but use your pendulum to be sure. I don't believe it's a cure-all for everyone. I've done the pendulum, and I honestly, it is not the answer for every pet. Just like nothing, all essential oils, not every one is going to work for everybody. So I use that analysis just because it's good for some and some issues. So use your pendulum and get your quality product to find out if that truly is something to give to the pet.
Okay, from Jude again, who'd like to ask about his grandpa's deceased dachshund, Oakley. How is he doing?
He says, well, he's happy he doesn't have to run a lot because of his short legs when he was here. It was hard for him to keep up with everyone. So now he's actually flying, doesn't have to worry about it. His spirit's just flying around. So he's having fun. He actually looked like, you know how they say when pigs fly, he looked like a little doxy with wings on it. It's very cute.
Okay, from Amarena, do you communicate via spirit guides or directly with the animal, or both?
I say both. Definitely directly with the animals, but sometimes their guides will speak with me through my guides, so I get the impression. It's a little help from everyone, but most definitely directly to the animal. And we have a conversation, And for my clients, when I do readings, I ask questions. I write down my question, I write down my answer. So there's a full conversation that I share with you for your questions that you may have. So my consultations on the phone or Zoom are 30 minutes or so. And give me all your questions on your pet. And we have a conversation beforehand, before the appointment. And I read you what I get. And then, of course, you can ask questions on anything I tell you, or anything new that comes to you. So, yeah, definitely directly with the animals. They're so funny. They have some great personalities.
Okay, then Lenora wants to know, is it better to meet the pet in person versus Zoom or on the phone?
I don't find it's any different. I truly don't. Sometimes if I'm in a home, I might see something that you didn't notice, but unless that's the case, honestly, the reading itself directly with the animal, it's not a problem by phone and Zoom. You get the very same results. Sometimes even better because I'm not distracted by your home or the animal. I'm in my home, so I'm actually more relaxed and more in touch in a sense of comfort. So for my comfort, actually. So yeah, phone readings and Zoom readings are great. No complaint. Any other questions? We're just about on time, aren't we? Well, I want to thank you all for joining, and I hope to do this again. I'm just really enjoying. I know lots of people are saying they don't like being home and they don't like the Zoom, and I am just enjoying this thoroughly. So thank you all. Be sure and go to the chat at the bottom where it says file. There's 3 little dots. If you click on that, you can save the chat with all the links and all the questions to your computer. So I'm going to actually do that right now. It says more and then save chat. So that's what you can do. You can keep it on your computer and go back to the links and look at the links later for all the things. And thank you, Tanya, for helping me. This was fabulous. I really appreciate everyone. And we'll do it again. To be sure and go to my website, you can sign up for my newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter. I have a meetup. You can subscribe, join the meetup. All the links, basically, I think Tanya's put throughout the chat. The meetup is Learn to Speak with the Animals, and it's I was doing it in Awakenings, and I do have something scheduled September 20th. At this point, I'm not sure if that will go or not. Not feeling the comfort right now to be live with people, so I'm just going to wait. So I'm enjoying this. I hope you did too. And send me your responses, send me your questions for next time. Thank you. Stay healthy, stay safe. Till next time.
Bye, everyone.